Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. In this video I'm going to do a how-to video, and that would be on how to measure your gun for a barrel band. There's been several things come up where people say, hey, do you have a barrel band for this, or do you have a barrel band for that, with this or without that? Well, probably not everything. So I don't mind doing a barrel band special for somebody, because that actually helps me out if somebody is willing to give me measurements for their barrel, and I'm going to show you guys what I have to do to make this happen. This is the the shrouded barrel band. This one is the one for the shroud. Of course, the hole's bigger. This one is for the one without the shroud. Huge difference. So you measure the same either way. So I'll put you over here and show you what we got going on. So before we get started, we're going to need a digital caliper. You will too. And we're going to need a feeler gauge, just in case we can't use these to measure between the barrel and the tank. So the first measurement, and if you do ask me to make you a barrel band, this is the picture that you will get. So the first measurement is the top one. That would be the barrel. So you want to make sure that your jaws are clean. Close it, and you can see it's off, so we need to zero. So now we're back to normal. So then you measure the barrel itself, and you want to be as straight as possible on it, and you want to move it around. Like if I had that little sideways, it would read higher than what it really is. So you want to move that caliper around until you get the very smallest reading. And I'm getting 1624. So that's what you'll write in the first column. Then in the last column, you'll come down and we'll do the tank. And that one, moving it around to its smallest, and I'm just putting a little force on it, comes to 3605. Alright, so we'll write that in the last column. Now, the one in between the barrel, you don't measure right out here. Let's pretend this is the breech. You want to measure all the way back here, because you want the measurement between here and here to be exactly the same as here. That puts that barrel perpendicular to this tank. That's where you want it. You don't want it high, you don't want it low. If you have droop out here, you're going to get a bad measurement. If you have a warp and your barrel's bent up, you're going to have a false reading. You're either going to be shooting high or you're going to be shooting low. So you want to get your measurement from back here. So let's pretend this is where we're going to get our measurement, because this is our breech now, not our barrel band. So we want to take the small jaws, and sometimes you have to use a larger 12-inch caliper. But I chose the Challenger 30 cal, first generation Challenger, that's mine. And because it will allow me to get in there far enough to be able to get that measurement. And in this case, we want it to be the largest number, because now you're spreading apart, not closing together. So we're going to go for the largest number we can possibly get, and that is 8.26. That's what I'll write in my middle section of this diagram. So then you send that to me. So now once you give me the measurements, I will make your barrel band. And they will look just like this, except they'll have the measurements for your gun. Let's say, for instance, right now I've got a guy that wants one for a 25. Well, 25 is so uncommon. Not very many people have the 25. So it's not feasible for me to make that and keep it in stock. It's just unrealistic. I'm not going to keep something in stock that I have to carry around for the rest of my life that only sells for once a month or once every 6 months. And usually every 6 months is about the time somebody asks me for a 25 caliber Challenger band. So I just don't bother making them because they're so close to the same size with a slight variation. They look identical. I don't want to send somebody the wrong barrel band. So but anyway, there would have to be a 25 wrote on the side of it because it's such uncommon. This one fits a 30 and the 357. Why they didn't make all of them fit the same is beyond me. I guess they needed something else to worry about. So you give me the size, I will draw it up or adjust it to your size, and then I'll print it. Just because you gave me the measurements and you get it and it don't fit, you're forgetting one more aspect of the project. You have to get rid of the squeeze, the printer squeeze. Each layer squeezes just a hair. So we don't know how much squeeze there is. So, and it's not consistent every single time. It's different on every print. So it's just something you're not going to get away with. Short of you sending me your gun and say, hey Bob, fit this for my gun, you're going to have to work. Get over it. If you don't want to work, you don't want my barrel band. So I will do special barrel bands for people, but I really don't want to get into a lot of specialty stuff. Now, I did have somebody ask me to do a special band for him. He wanted me to put on the side of it Dirty 30. So I went in, adjusted the barrel band, and put Dirty 30 on the side of it, and I ended up printing 4 of them, and I really didn't have no use for Dirty 30 because that's his saying, so I don't want to be selling his saying, so that's his baby. So, you know, I'll do something special for you if that's something you wanted or was interested in. I just don't want to do a whole lot of it. That just means a whole lot of aggravation. I'll try to stay away from that stuff. So, but that's how you measure for your barrel band. And yes, you're going to have to file and sand your barrel band to fit your gun. That number you give me is just a really, really close figure. After it's printed, that's a different story. You're going to have to file and sand to fit. You want that thing to be smooth inside, and you want it to fit. You're just giving me a close proximity so close that you don't have to work your ass off. So you give me the number that you want on yours, and that's what you'll get, uh, with a little extra. So anyway, I hope this informs you guys on how to measure your barrel and between your barrel and your tank. Uh, if I try to compensate for it, I might make it too loose. So I would rather you file a little bit and sand a little bit, one or the other or both. Uh, I usually file, then sand. If it doesn't fit, well, I file it until it fits really tight. Then that's when I start sanding. So, I get it down, and I got a video on that. I get it down to where it fits snug and with the file, and then once I get it to where it's snug, to where I barely can get it on, then I'll take the sandpaper and that will smooth the bore. I just roll it in a roll and slide it back and forth until it fits on there just the way I like it. Loose as a goose. I like mine to fit nice and snug, but not so tight that it puts pressure on the plastic. Your set screws are already going to put pressure on your plastic. You don't want to add to it. So the better it fits, without using any tools. If you've got to use a tool to put your barrel band on, you are doing it wrong. Stop and resand. If you can't slide that thing on in a steady motion across it without a tool, stop. You're doing it wrong. I repeated that for a reason. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and by all means, don't forget to have your Trump coffee, which is in a Bison mug today. You guys have a good one. Later.